Imagine Europe, the 7th century, a world in flux. The old Roman Empire in the west, gone, crumbled to dust. New kingdoms were rising, barbarian kings, ambitious warlords. It was an age of iron and blood. The Eastern Roman Empire survived. We call it Byzantium, a mighty Christian power, centered in Constantinople. But it was stretched thin. Enemies pressed in. From the east, from the north. A beacon, yes, but flickering. Then came the Bulgars. A new name, a new force. Nomadic horsemen, warriors, from the vast Eurasian steppes. They were pushing west, searching for land, a permanent home. Their arrival sent shockwaves. Two worlds were on a collision course. Byzantium, ancient, powerful, civilized. The Bulgars, tough, determined, hungry. The Balkans became their arena, a struggle for dominance, a struggle for survival. History was about to be made, right there, on the Danube. Byzantium had its hands full, massive wars against Persia, draining its strength, its treasure. Then a new challenge, the explosive rise of Islam. Arab armies conquered vast territories, Syria, Egypt, North Africa. The empire fought for its very life. The Bulgars were a people on the move, their precise origins are debated, likely Turkic from Central Asia. They journeyed for generations, across sweeping grasslands, united under strong khans, driven by need, or ambition, a testament to human endurance. They reached the lands near the Danube, the rich plains of Moesia. This wasn't just another raid. The Bulgars under Khan Asparuh aimed to settle, to carve out a permanent territory. This was a new kind of threat. Right on Byzantium's doorstep, a challenge that couldn't be ignored. Initial clashes were fierce. Byzantium had faced nomads before, but the Bulgars were different. Well-organized, militarily skilled. They were not easily pushed back. Asparuh proved a cunning leader. He knew how to fight, and he knew how to win. For Byzantium, the problem was clear. How to secure this northern frontier? The Balkans were vital. Constant warfare was bleeding them dry. They couldn't afford another long conflict, not with the Arabs still pressing. A solution was needed, and fast. The Bulgars too faced pressures. They had fought hard for this new land, this foothold south of the Danube. They needed to secure their gains, to achieve recognition, to build a state, a future. They were not about to leave. They had come too far. The Danube River was the key, a natural defensive line for Byzantium. For the Bulgars, it was the heartland of their new emerging kingdom. Control of this region meant everything: power, security, prosperity. Both sides understood the stakes. They were incredibly high. So the pressure mounted. On Emperor Constantine IV, on Khan Asparuh. Continued war was a gamble, for both. Could diplomacy offer a way out, a path to some kind of stability? Even a bitter peace was better than ruin. The breaking point came in 680 AD, the Battle of Ongal, a swampy delta near the Danube. Byzantine forces, led by the emperor himself, were decisively defeated by Asparuh's Bulgars. It was, honestly, a shock to the imperial system, but Constantine IV was a realist. He knew when to cut his losses. Now just imagine the negotiation room, tense, fraught with suspicion. On one side you had the Byzantine diplomats, polished, proud, representing centuries of imperial power. Facing them were Bulgar chieftains, weathered, wary, victorious, but definitely knowing their limits. Two different worlds, right there, trying to find common ground, or at the very least, an end to fighting. The treaty was hammered out in 681 AD, a landmark year. Byzantium officially recognized the Bulgar state south of the Danube in lands that had once been Roman. This was a stunning admission. A new kingdom, forged in war, now acknowledged by the great empire. But there was more. A clause that truly stung Byzantium. The empire agreed to pay an annual tribute to the Bulgars. Gold, just to keep the peace. It was, honestly, unprecedented. Humiliating even. The mighty Roman Empire paying barbarians to leave them alone. For Khan Asparuh and his people, this treaty was an immense triumph. It meant legitimacy, international standing. Their new state was formally recognized by the most powerful empire in the region. This was the foundation stone of the First Bulgarian Empire. A dream made real. For Emperor Constantine IV, it was a bitter pill to swallow. Loss of territory, loss of face. The tribute was a constant reminder of defeat and new realities. But, it was also pragmatic. It secured the Balkan frontier, at least for a time, allowing Byzantium to focus elsewhere. The balance of power in the Balkans, well, it shifted. Dramatically, irrevocably. A new independent kingdom had appeared on Europe's map, Bulgaria, strong, ambitious. This wasn't just a temporary settlement, it was a new political entity, one that would shape the future. The Treaty of 681 AD marked the official birth of a state that would endure for centuries. Bulgaria would become a major player, a rival to Byzantium, sometimes an ally. Its culture would flourish and its influence would spread far. The Bulgar state, born in 681 AD, did more than just survive. It grew, it consolidated, it thrived. It would eventually adopt Christianity, develop its own script, its own distinct culture, a powerful fusion of Bulgar, Slav, and Byzantine elements. A major force in medieval Europe. Byzantium, for its part, adapted. The treaty was a lesson in the limits of imperial power, and the uses of diplomacy, even with those once deemed barbarians. The empire would continue for centuries more, always learning, always adjusting to the changing world around it. The entire Balkan peninsula was transformed. The rise of Bulgaria created a new political dynamic. It influenced the development of other Slavic peoples in the region. The cultural and ethnic map was permanently redrawn by the events of 681 AD. So, the Treaty of 681 AD was far more than just a ceasefire. It was a turning point, a moment that changed Europe forever. But think about this. How might the story have been different if Byzantium had crushed the Bulgars? If this treaty had never been signed? History often turns on such what-ifs.